Hi, it's Dallin Stringham from the jewelry store. Just going over things really fast to catch you up on the chapter of Fanatical Prospecting. It talks about the law of familiarity and a lot of different aspects of that kind of go into that. But just jumping right into things to help catch you up before our meeting. So the law of familiarity essentially is the more familiar prospects are with you and your company, the more receptive they will be to what you're selling, your contacts, your outreaches, your touches. And so it's really important that you're able to get that so you can have the higher probability for success. Now, just jumping into things. So the chapter goes into the 5 levels of familiarity, 5 objectives of social prospecting, 5 C's of social prospecting, and the 5 social prospecting tools. Now, jumping into the 5 levels of familiarity, there's persistent and constant coaching, referrals and introductions, networking, company branding and familiarity, and personal branding. And these are all just ways that you can connect with people and that people can connect with you. Obviously, like networking is a pretty important one, but aside from that, like for example, like having that brand familiarity is really important. Like for example, like in the business world, there's companies like Gartner who are super well known, very important, very influential, and so those are a great one like that you can use or connect with. And then of course, contacting is always really important. Referrals are great to have, and those are some of those levels. Now, jumping into the 5 objectives of social prospecting. So you have your personal branding, which is like, what do I look like? And like your LinkedIn profile or your social media pages, like those are really important. You have inbound prospecting via education insights, and that's why like a great like on with LinkedIn, if you post about like really interesting stuff, if you're providing content, then you are able to really foster that environment where people can like you can connect with them and through your insights and teachings. And then it's always good to stay aware of current events and where things are going, and your trigger event and buying cycle awareness. And so that's really like what's happening in the market, what's going on big. And so that's a great way to connect with people. And then there's research and information gathering, and then outbound prospecting with direct engagement. And those are great tools. Now, the 5 C's of connecting with social prospecting, and that's going to be connecting, content creation, content curation, conversion, and consistency. Now, these are all pretty straightforward, but just diving into a couple of them. So the content that you can create is really important because provides a lot of value to the outside world. But on kind of more of an internal aspect, the content that you curate is important because that's stuff that you are learning about, looking into, bringing in, whether it's through research on the internet or stuff like that, that really helps you in that aspect with finding out new important things. Kind of going back into that trigger event and buying cycle awareness. And then the 5 social prospecting tools are going to be the engagement tools, creation tools, curation tools, distribution tools, and intelligence and data tools. Now, these are really valuable because they help you be able to essentially get to the prospect. There are essentially modes that you can use. So for example, like creation, you have like LinkedIn where you can create posts on social media. Engagement tools, like for example, marketing companies can use like Google Ads, SEO stuff to understand their engagement tools. You have distribution tools, intelligence and data tools. AI is a huge factor and is a great way to find potential leads and prospects, but these are really valuable for any kind of prospecting, especially social prospecting. But if you have any questions, let me know, and I'll see you at the meeting soon.